Mr. President, it says, how much money did you inherit and how much did you have now? What are some of the challenges you face as an executive? What are the future plans? In the face of recent disruptions at meetings, do you have any plans of curbing that situation? In December, your tenure ends. When are you going to have elections? So there's about a 4-part to that question.
Okay. So the first one was
the money.
Before. So money issues. Our treasurer is not here, but I think Faith gave us a little bit of an idea as to how much money we have in our accounts as we speak. Or let me just go back to the beginning. I remember a little bit that when we took over January of 2017, we had a little over $9,000 in our accounts. And as somebody mentioned here, we had a past president that we owed about $9,000. So the council made a decision that we should pay that person that amount. And so after paying that amount, the council, as at 2017, the earlier part of 2017 when we started business, the council really didn't have much money. How we can get those figures from the financial secretary, the treasurer, but I would guess probably a little over either $1,000 or so. And it is good, and I can attest to the fact that between 2017, by end of 2017, we had probably made about 20,000 profits here and there. The following year, we made a little over 20, probably around 25,000. And even this year, we've been able to make a profit right around 25,000. For the 3 years that we've been in power, I can say that we have at least put a minimum of $60,000 into our accounts. And I saw a math somewhere that even when we had that 9,000, if we still had that 9,000, we have probably over, gotten money that is calculated at 600%. So 61,000, he said, is what we have now. When we took over, we had 9,000, and we actually used that 9,000 to pay up an arrears. So we can get the actual numbers more, but whatever I've given is pretty much, close to what we have. I think the second question, I have another opportunity to decide to, stay on and continue with the dream of the community for another 3 years. So that is what we are looking at. Unfortunately, we set a committee to look over our elections during our September meeting.
Right.
So by council's constitution, October meeting was when we were supposed to take nominations from whoever or which people want to stand. The meeting didn't end. So going back to council's meeting on Sunday, which is the November meeting, we are going to have the electoral committee give us the dates and the times for our new elections. And so far, no nominations has been out yet. So whoever is looking at the timetable and whoever is asking that question, it is my hope that we'll be able to resolve all our issues by next meeting, and then the electoral committee will give us updates on when we can receive when they can expect nominations, and we'll continue with the elections. Thank you.
I'll just be reading some of the Facebook feed we have from Aqua Radio. We have a question here from Atta Kwamina Dansu. He says, kudos on the good job, especially with the finances. I can only see the executives of the council. What happened to the rest of the council members? Were they all invited to join the press conference? And are you, Mr. President, crediting your success to the entire GNC or only the executives?
Well, thank you. Atta, I think your question, I have mentioned part of it, that our success for what we have done is at the direction, or was at the direction of the General Assembly. I said that every independence that we did that made us profit, every Ghana Fest that we did that made us profit, was actually approved by the General Assembly. So the credit does not go just to the executives, but it goes to the Ghana National Council. What the executives does is to assemble a team of what is it called? Planning
Planning
committee.
committee, yeah.
And usually the planning committee, members of the council are part of the planning committee. So this is not a credit that just goes to the executives, but it goes to the council, because the council that approves before the executives and the planning committee takes the job to do. What was the other question?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we have a question here from a Facebook feed. It said from F4 Senior. Understand some number of 2019 Ghana Fest tickets cannot be accounted for by Air Madame Coco on WGHC. How true is that? And also, does she have the permission to speak for GNC?
Well, Senor, thank you for that question, and I can answer that question in a way that will not. I don't want to jump the gun, because Ghana Fest was done in July, and as at October meeting, which was the first Sunday of October, the business team and ticket committee and all the other committees that were working under the Ghana Fest. The Ghana Fest were actually presenting their report. Unfortunately, that meeting did not end, and so there will be a continuation of all the accounts connected to the Ghana Fest. But I can assure you that there was a ticket committee that handled all the sale of tickets, and so it is that responsibility of that committee to actually present their report to the council. And I just want to use that opportunity to let you know that as president of the Ghana National Council, I'm only the president. I'm not the treasurer. I'm not the financial secretary. I don't sell tickets. I don't do anything with the ticket committee. So the president technically is not even part of the people that dealt with the ticket. So as president, day-to-day stuff that we do for the council is my primary responsibility. I talked about Ghana House and all that, but when it comes to money issues, I'm usually not the person to answer those questions. So if you give us some time, ticket committee final report will come, and if there is a need for me to get back to you to answer these questions, I will. But thank you for your concern. It is very important that, somebody said something that actually helped me a little bit, and I just want to also say that it is about time that members of the community also will hold us accountable to all the things that we do. We like that it keeps us on our toes. It makes us also get better, and so I am totally down, to questions like that. So just let them keep coming. Our moderator is here. I think he has something to say. So please, if you are watching us online, let the questions come, and we will.
The question he was asking, I'd like to know the answers to. He said, is Mama Coco permitted to represent the council and answer questions? I think he.
Oh yes. Right. Thank you for the reminder. Mama Coco is a council member, and he was on one of the radio stations to voice her concerns as a citizen. As a community member. I don't think she was. I'm not sure, but I don't think she was there to represent the Ghana National Council. And as an individual, I don't think she doesn't have a right to go on radio station to say her concerns. But all I know is that she herself was part of the ticket committee. So if there are any anomalies or something that happened or something that went wrong with tickets, she should rather be the person answering those questions and not her being the person who is raising the issue. So once again, the ticket committee will present their full report, and we will be able to get back. Yes.